secrets of the social media through the social universe, and in many cases, the secrets of the universe itself. Today, we are learning a lot about real estate and how that secret of the universe is managed. Sometimes the secrets of the universe are hard to predict. The only thing that's important to understand is if you look at where people like to move, where they like to live, where populations are moving, it's almost hard to go wrong. Even if you are off by a couple of years, it's a little bit hard to go wrong. The Sun Belt in general, but Arizona just keeps attracting anybody from retirees to people who are just sick of the snow and want to find a job, any job, as long as it's out of the snow. Somebody once said, when I asked an honest question of somebody who lived in the Midwest, I said, it's so pretty, there's green trees and there's green everywhere. I'm one of the few natives that actually grew up in Arizona, and so I asked them sincerely, what's the why? Why did you move here? And you're welcome here, but why did you move here? And the answer is, you don't have to shovel sunshine. So obviously, I tend to agree. I ended up here too. I've lived in other states as well, but came back home, and I understood why the Painted Desert is it gets in your blood and stays there.
Rather amazing. I grew up in the heartland of Illinois, so.
So you understand. Absolutely. You can still have a little bit of green in your front yard if you want to water a lawn, but oh my gosh, at least you don't have to.
Snow's beautiful in pictures.
Yeah, in pictures, or if you're skiing.
Yes.
I lost a girlfriend one time because I put on Enya. It dates myself a little bit, but I put on Enya on my headphones and went skiing down the mountain, and she just ripped those headphones off and had a bit of an argument, and I lost that girl. But the snow was just absolutely amazing. So it's sometimes better than anything you can imagine.
That could probably be a whole show, Kurt.
It probably could, yeah. I better not say her name in case she's listening. But Arizona is a great place to live and also a great place to invest for those reasons. If people can't afford homes, there's a lot of good renters out there too. Are there any statistics along those lines?
The rental market is at an all-time high.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't have any statistics today, but I can tell you that the property management issues and the rentals are just phenomenal. Rents have increased in the last 2 years.
I guess
and they've come up well. And there's not a large vacancy factor.
Right.
In fact, the home builders are building again, and I've got some statistics on
Let's
that
talk about home builders. So you guys, you have the option of a new home, right?
Yeah, let me just give you one other residential statistic, and that's days on market. Homeowners like to know how many days could we expect our home to be sold and such.
Right.
But we found that at the beginning of 2012, we were 91 days on market on average for selling homes.
Okay.
And we ended the year at 71 days on market.
Wow.
So they're selling a little faster statistically based,
Phenomenal.
And so some are still selling, and right now, below 100,000, we're seeing multiple offers. Crazy. 3, 5, 10 offers per property.
Wow.
And it hits 1 day, 2 days on the market, and there's it. Now, a lot of the Canadian investors have moved away because they don't see any real bargains anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
But the people that are living in those houses, the end users, still have some real good opportunities to purchase.
Right.
So that becomes the market. And the other statistics that you and I talked about was the fact that Arizona was hit hard with the job losses and the declining property values both. Mm-hmm. And while we had a range of increase needed, it was rather interesting to me to learn that in 2010 we were 49th in job growth. And in 2011 we were 23rd in job growth. And this year we're 4th in job growth. With July compared to July of a year ago, with 57,700 new non-farm jobs that were brought about. And most of those, I think, will be in the construction arena.
Okay.
Most of the home builders are doing extremely well.
Wow.
I do a couple of classes for a couple of the major builders, and they tell me that the market is just great for new homes right now.
Wow.
And there's good buys and good volume for that activity. The median value, as I told you, fell over 50% from the peak in June of 2006, and the sold prices went crazy. in 2005, and some of the people who have bought in 2009 or later doing quite well. So there's the break point. New home sales were 58% higher this July than they were a year ago July. 58%. Wow. New home construction moved us from 8th place in percentage increase in construction jobs. The Home Builder Association of Central Arizona reported that single-family building permits year-to-date through August was 8,672, or 76% higher than the same period last year.
Amazing.
So I think that you can see those statistics as being a major part of the increase in sales as well.
You know, and I don't like to wax political because this is not a political show, but I will say this, is that I watched Arizona going out there with knives and more than a scalpel. They had swords hacking off all but their right arm a few years ago to make sure that we balanced our budget, and then they got out of the way. It sounds strange that to say that the growth happens if you just get out of the way, but they got out of the way as much as they could,
yeah.
and the recovery happened. So it's amazing what will happen if you just get out of the way of the American economy and just let it happen.
Well, I'm old enough to remember the old RTC. You know, they tried to milk and nurse that for a long time, and finally they just said, you know, we quit, and the market recovered very quickly.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Once they got out of the way.
Need we say more? Just get out of the way and let the construction guys go back to work. The best way to get a job is just to get out of get jobs is just to get out of the way. Okay, so coming back to the real topic, and then changing topics a little bit. Speaking of business owners. Business brokering is something that you guys do as well, and it's kind of not a well-known fact inside of West USA. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's kind of intriguing. When I first became the broker, I said to Mr. Fouts, I said, you know, I don't know a lot about the business opportunities of selling businesses, some with property, some without property. They may be leasing and running their business. Mm-hmm. And he says, Dale, you'll pick it up pretty quickly, and sure enough, I met some of the business brokers that we have that just do business. That's all they do. Mm-hmm. And so they work with those, and some are small business, some are large business. And the other day we sold a very huge $6 million business, and then we sold a $26 million business. And we have quite a lot of people that are very knowledgeable. In fact, some of the business brokers have emptied their offices coming to West USA.
Wow.
And we've had others come and join us on a regular basis, and we have some promise of some new ones joining even starting this year. Mm-hmm. And so the business brokerage, I've learned that business along with them, and I learned from them, if you will, because it's totally different than residential. Totally different.
Yeah, I think the appraisal process is a little bit different.
Yes, it is. We also have agents that do business, corporate sales, if you will, selling office complexes and commercial buildings. Mm-hmm. And then you separate it out a little further we have probably the largest group of property managers. We have over 88 property managers in the company.
Wow, that's a phenomenal business.
And some of them have 50 accounts, some have 100, some have several hundred. And so we have a whole division that's been with the company from the very beginning. And so we make the business, well, the commissioner will tell you it's her number one problem with property management. So we work pretty tight to hold those people under control so that we don't have the problems that others would have. So we've got that. We also have people that specialize in just land sales. And Dr. Dirk's one of our guys.
That's great. We'll have to pull him on the show. That's a good name.
He does a lot of large land sales. And of course, land sales dried up from 2006 to 7 and such, you know, and land values dropped dramatically. And some of the builders bought, and they wisely bought during that time. And so therefore, they have good land value, which lets them have lower prices in their homes. And so new home buys are real good. Right. And so we sell a lot of new homes, and we work with the home builders as well. So we run the full gamut of real estate. West USA has residential, commercial, business opportunity, land sales, and we handle all of it. And we do our best to do the brokerage for all of these people.
That's wonderful. Now, if we have, because we do tend to have a lot of business owners that listen to the show, if there's a business owner who is getting close to retirement or just in a change, what would be the process of them getting their books together and ready for you to be able to take a look at, to appraise if they wanted to sell their business?
Well, we would put you with the right person to do that. There's niche markets within the business field as well.
Sure.
There are those that specialize with salons. There
Okay.
are those that specialize with the liquor license, if you will.
Sure.
There are others that do things that relate to manufacturing, and they all specialize in those various areas: strip centers, hotels, all those categories covered with one or more of our agents.
Very
I
good.
have one ugly story that I tell about a guy that came along and been in residential sales, and he was getting close to retirement age, and he called me one day and he said, "Dale, I'm excited." He said, "This friend of mine wants me to sell his business." And I said, "No." And he said, "What?" I said, "No, you can't do it. I'm not going to let you do it." He says, well, why can't I do it?" I said, "You mess up residential deals. Why would I ever let you do a business opportunity?"
There you go. You
So-
know what the specialist.
So I made him get a hold of a commercial or a business opportunity agent, and he was able to retain a referral fee, but he would have messed it up completely, and I
Yeah.
didn't need the aggravation.
You
Yeah.
bet. There's so many things that can go sideways on
Yeah.
there. You want to make sure that you have a professional, which they have that professional division. So, and if they went to the WestUSA.com, would you give us the official website again?
Yes, westusa.com.
WestUSA.com, and there, one of the tabs would be for business brokering. Would they find information there?
They could, or they could call our office and talk to us at that fine. Probably the best number would be 602-942-4200.
Okay, very good. And then we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have a few parting comments. So don't go away. And we want to thank our listeners for tuning in to the Social Universe. This is your host, Kurt Wilhelm, here on Voice America and We'll Talk Radio. We're joined by Dale Hillard from West USA Realty. Don't go away. We'll be right back.